service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab greetings. I'm Bud Lowell, and your full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of every CNC local news page. Governor Cuomo has signed into law New York's new anti-texting while driving law. It toughens penalties for texting or using a handheld device while driving to match those that drivers with junior licenses get for speeding and reckless driving. That means a 60-day license suspension on a first conviction. The governor said inattention and experience is a death sentence on the highway. In May, the governor used administrative means to boost the penalty from 3 to 5 points on a license for testing, and that puts it on par with a speeding ticket. The governor also promised all the help the state can muster for the Mohawk and Hudson River Valley areas hit by last weekend's flooding, and the area got more rain Monday night into Tuesday morning, the last thing it needed. YouTube poster Evgen Plozniak had these images up showing what things look like around his town. The governor says he has asked the Obama administration for a disaster declaration.
First order of business, this is a public safety mission. We are not done yet, and the first order of business is to make sure people are safe. We've been basically blessed thus far that we've only had one fatality thus far, but don't kid yourself. Things are dangerous in these situations.
A shelter in Utica that Red Cross volunteers from our region helped set up has now been closed as the roads reopened in that area, but 2 others further east are still in business, and officials say they have now found the body of a Kanajahari area woman whose house was lifted off its foundations and swept away by a flash flood. Senator Charles Schumer wants the restoration of close to $10 million in federal funding that was supposed to pay for beach cleanup and water monitoring programs, but was taken out of the budget by sequestration. Schumer is holding a press conference at Ontario Beach Park in Charlotte Tuesday afternoon. He also plans to roll out a bill that would put more support into cleaning up stormwater runoff pollution that often leads to beach closings. An environmental group's report last week rated Charlotte one of the nation's most frequently closed beaches. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office has charged a Hamlin man with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of a weapon for allegedly shooting up a home on Sweden Walker Road. Rochester police have now charged that same man with assault and criminal possession of a weapon for a shooting on Lynette Street. Deputies say 22-year-old Philip Dodson fired multiple shots from a handgun into a house on Sweden Walker Road, and he hit the family's dog twice. Dodson's car was spotted a short time later headed east on Route 531 at Elm Grove. Dodson was pulled over and they arrested him. Deputies recovered a handgun. Dodson has been arraigned and he's in the Monroe County Jail on $100,000 bond. Rochester police say Dodson is the man who shot another man in the torso on June 11th. Rochester police have identified the man shot to death in a car Saturday as 24-year-old Eugene Wade of Rochester. He was shot just before 11 Saturday morning, sitting in the car on Michigan Street in the Lyle Otis neighborhood. Police are asking anyone with information to call 911. Monroe County Democrats say they're running Christopher Chacho of Irondequoit for the seat on the Monroe County Court, left vacant now that Frank Geraci has been appointed to the federal bench. Chacho, who has been practicing law in the Rochester area for 27 years, will face Republican Paul Irving in November. Irving is the former Monroe County Assistant District Attorney, and the winner will get a 10-year term. Rush firefighters and EMTs got a hand from trained volunteers to save the life of a bike rider who collapsed at the intersection of routes 15 and 251 on Sunday. According to Monroe County Firewire, the 53-year-old bicyclist was on the ground, no breathing, no pulse when they got there, and they found trained volunteers giving him CPR. The Rush firefighters immediately hooked up a defibrillator, shocked the victim's heart. That got it started again. The Henrietta ambulance arrived minutes later and took the patient to Strong. The patient was alert and talking to the medical staff a short time after arriving at the hospital. As Firewire says, sometimes things just go right. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories at the bottom of all CNC news pages, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Next news podcast as it happens, updates are as necessary, and I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.